r/AskReddit. Why are you still alive? Honestly, IDK. Don't want to kill myself. But I don't want to keep doing this either. So, here we are. Airbags and seatbelts. Hit 2 stopped cars while going 70 miles per hour. Sent from hospital Wi-Fi. Just luck, I guess. Probably not a healthy reason, but my bird. I own a almost 5 years old male cockatiel, and he has become my motivation to get up and out of bed every morning. He is a bit of a jerk and doesn't accept pets, but I know he would be extremely impacted if I suddenly disappeared. I've put a lot of work into building a trust bond with him, and if I disappeared it would ruin all that work I put into him, as cockatiels can sometimes be a one person, or bird, that they bond the most with. When I first got him, he was an empty shell of a bird because his sibling that he was kept with got adopted very early on, and I can't bear the thought of him reverting back to that sad and dull shell of a bird. I refuse to die until I know what the one piece is. Just to suffer. Respiration. I beat stage 4 cancer and want to experience life to the fullest. The amount of gratitude I carry with me allows me to enjoy most moments of life. Or at least appreciate them. Because I refused to die after being raped and stabbed. I actually crawled to the light. A street light. If there was an off switch, I think I'd have probably hit it by now. My husband, stepson and dog. At my most depressed, there were days my husband just pulled me in and wouldn't let go. And days where my stepson just grabbed my hand and told me he loved me. And then days the dog just kissed me or snuggled up next to me. Now I'm grateful that I'm in a much better place. But I'm here because their support and love. The Bee Gees. I kinda just wanna see how it plays out, honestly. I have kids that need to be fed, clothed. And I do not want them to have PTSD like me, due to their father's suicide. I am too scared to kill myself, ha ha ha, that's literally it. Like if I knew for sure I could just cleanly and painlessly end my life, I would be all over it. But I need to be certain. I am having a great time. I enjoy being me very much, but I will say this. Because though I am happy, I am not oblivious to what we're really talking about here. It's really hard. I am constantly vigilant to threats to my peace and happiness. And I am exhaustingly fierce about protecting my own emotional state. I am tired a lot from just life. But it's worth it. I am enjoying life very much. Because I haven't built up the courage to shoot myself yet. I must outlive Nikocado avocado. Modern medical science and a whole lot of concentrated oxygen. COVID is no joke. Cancer couldn't kill me. Plus my girlfriend is really hot. Because when I was young and made a horrible decision, someone noticed before I hurt myself or others. I was driving home from my parents' house and it was late at night. I had been driving for about an hour with 20 minutes left to go. Mostly on a major highway. When I realized how tired I was. Being young and a server, I was used to pushing through fatigue. So I thought it was no big deal. The next thing I know, a car full of people are honking and waving at me to wake me up. They smiled at me and stayed beside me the rest of my trip. I have no idea who they were or if I imagined them. But they saved my life and maybe someone else's. I am grateful to those strangers. The next time I noticed I was tired while driving, I pulled over in the nearest subdivision and napped in my car. I will never drive tired again. Fear of death. And the unwavering feeling that there's something I have to do before I die. I don't know what it is, but I think I'll know once I've done it. A lot of reasons if I think about it. My biggest one is weed for sure though. Since most other medications don't work or makes me worse. Or the feeling you get when looking at the stars while walking around town at 3 a.m. The fact anyone can create things whether they have purpose or not. And cats. Just cats in general, I go absolutely feral, they are so cute. Because I was legally allowed to have an abortion in 2019. Because my vows hold me hostage. I swore before witnesses that has to count for something? I just love him so much I couldn't do ITHE struggles as well, so no need to play tit for tat Cujo. Will we know? Weird, but I gotta find some humor somewhere. My mom can't afford funeral expenses. Because when I didn't want to be, I didn't have the energy to end it all. Luckily, after Roe v. Wade is done, I don't know anymore, since me as a person no longer exists except as a vessel anytime one man at one time determines it so. Fuck all of you supporting this modern slavery. Because I haven't given up on the future, and I could never expose my family to the loss they would experience. Detective Rust Cole. I tell myself I bear witness. But the real answer is that it's obviously my programming. And I lack the constitution for suicide. I just keep waking up. My dog wouldn't know why I never came home, and that makes me nauseous. These bills aren't going to pay themselves. At this point it feels like I've survived too much to be the reason I get taken out. Fuck knows TBH. A few years ago I was going through some serious things in my life, and I opened my window a lot of times and seriously considered jumping out, but I kept making some kind of event a few days later to have something to look up to. I guess that worked pretty well, since now I'm living a happy life even if I don't have anything special going on. A complete stranger decided to risk his life and save me from being kidnapped. I'm afraid of what other people will think. And I also think my partner would be sad. Because someone cut the rope. My dog would miss me. I just love my life. That's it. Bold of you to assume I am alive. I tried to use one of those suicide pods, but my credit card declined. Someone told me to go die or kill myself once. I refuse to die out of spite now. Fuck that guy. Because dying is too expensive. It is a habit. My kids. Because suicide is against the law. Can't destroy government property. I don't know. I am at a place where my life is utterly falling apart, and I am literally reading this thread to find some purpose. Because I failed the last 27 times. Full face motorcycle helmets. Me and two of my friends have each had wrecks that could have killed us but didn't. The helmets in 2/3 crashes took a ton of damage but no injuries to the head. I truly don't get why so many people hate to wear a helmet. Guardian angels working overtime. For my rats. I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. The car that hit me wasn't going fast enough. One Piece manga is still running, and I refuse to die before I see the ending. Even if I have to crawl back out of the underworld for it. Dying inside. Technically, I shouldn't be alive in the first place. My parents weren't supposed to be able to have kids. Multiple doctors told them they couldn't. But yet they had me and my sister. I have some videotapes I need to return. Spite. First off. Second. After spitefully living, I've found my calling and found purpose in life. So I'm gonna hang around a little bit longer. Everyone who has threatened to kill me has been non-committal about it. Inertia. Luck. Same reason anybody is alive. Everyone has had myriad situations where some bad luck could have ended them. I want to live my life to the fullest. IDK dude, I've just been alive since I was born. My wife. She saved me from a pretty destructive lifestyle. To annoy my spouse. I want to take college art classes. Even if they're useless in the real world or whatever people keep telling me. I just want to live and breathe art for 4 years. I can't do that if I am not alive to apply. J.R.R. Tolkien. C.S. Lewis. Robert Jordan and Raymond Feist. I grew up in the kind of home that most people cannot imagine. Even if they try. My stepfather regularly committed actual war crimes against me. Things that if they are done to prisoners of war or against the Geneva Convention, I could escape. Into books. I could be God or a hero or hide or anything. I could live while I was surviving. Considering I am dealing with COVID right now, I am vaccinated and boosted. I don't use social media as a source of medical advice and news. That is why I am alive. I only have one life, so I think it's better to use it all and only then get some results. My cat. Thank you, Wise, for the award. Made me tear up a little. And thank you, Anonymous, for the award. You're too kind. You, Agentinks, you, Agreeable_Craft 6721, and you, Bilby Galade, thank you also. So much. This is really warming my heart. You, TinyWinadani, thank you very, very much. You, ZombieNerd300, I greatly appreciate your award. Thank you so much. You, Shinray_, thank you so much. You, Punky, you're too kind. Thank you. You, Nikki6 2310, thank you. I would have died as a newborn from a congenital heart defect, but my mom saved my life. Spite. My family would be sad. Too big of a pussy to do anything. Self-love and friends. Because I don't want to die. I met someone worth living for. Mom would be sad. My ex saved my life. I awed on heroin and she found me on the floor. She was supposed to be with her sister, but she was nervous when she hadn't heard from me in a few hours. She came over and my lips were blue. Dead on the floor. Called 911. I woke up and coughed and vomited everywhere. Spent 2 days in the hospital. We broke up 2 years later in February 2019. And I've been sober since June 2019. Went to rehab. Got cleaned up. My heart refuses to stop, it's very annoying. I made a promise to my best friend, and if I break that promise, I'm afraid they'll follow behind me. No fucking idea. I should have been dead 100 times over. I now run on coffee and hatred. Haven't forgotten to breath. There wasn't a soul on this earth I would have trusted to raise my kids. So, here I am. My metabolic processes haven't ceased functioning yet. Unironically, the 2016 election. I was an actively suicidal 15-year-old at the time, but then I got sucked into the whole election thing. And since there was a scandal every few days, it was a very good distraction and I really wanted to know the outcome. By the time it was over, my suicidal thoughts had calmed down. Breaking generational family curses. I am exposing everything. BC, it would destroy my daily streak. I am just waiting to die at this point. I made a promise to my cats that I would not check out before they did. I promised them that they would never live in a shelter. Life got very hard in the months after losing my mom and grandma 10 days apart. That was 5 years ago. During that time I had some dark days and nights. Then my grandpa died 2 years after them. My cats were there for me more than other family and even some friends. The fact that I had the responsibility to feed them, clean up after them, take them to the doctor. Yeah, that helped me stay afloat sometimes. One of the cats died suddenly. He was my bub. That hurt, but my heart healed. I adopted another 6 months later and have 2 cats again. They keep me grounded and tethered to life. Edited to add. All of the freaking therapy I've done with my psychologist, that dude deserves an award for what he's done with me. I've put in time and work. Am I? Inertia and apathy. I am not dying before Nikocado Avocado. Because I hold on to hope that 10 years from now maybe I'll be happy. I haven't died yet. Because when the mom of one of my child's classmates ended her own life, I swore to my daughter I'd never leave her like that. I spent roughly 20 years being severely depressed. Lexapro and my dog has saved my life. Subscribe for more content.